Yeah.
So you wanted to just get out of there.
No, it wasn't so much that. We had COVID as well. So I didn't know that until later that day. But
This is file number 232382, People versus Samantha Megan Coomer. That's you?
yes.
You're here with your lawyer, Mr. Paul Gibson. You got a ticket on December 27th in the afternoon at 1:31 at Super 8 Way, right out in front of Myers, for leaving the scene of a property damage accident. That is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $100. I don't have anything in here. Ms. Halleck has joined us, which is very helpful. Could you email me any police report you got?
Yes.
There's a recommendation of no jail time, and there normally isn't jail time for this sort of thing. Unless it's aggravated, but are you gonna plead to that charge?
Yes.
Yes. All
Yes.
right. Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to that?
No.
Promise you anything?
No.
Prosecutor recommended no jail, so I guess that's a promise. You don't have much damage on your driver's license. You had a couple things, and you got them taken care of. All right, all I can see is what's on the ticket.
I just
No,
forwarded the
thank
police
you.
report.
It's very helpful to have you here. Takes a while to get from there to here. So, all right, were you driving a car in Three Rivers on December 27th?
Yes.
Between Christmas and New Year's? Where had you been?
We had just shopped at Myers.
All right, that
Yeah.
sounds about right. What happened?
My sister, she was actually driving. She went to turn onto 131. There was a car coming towards us with their turn signal on. So she assumed and didn't make sure it was safe. They didn't end up turning. They went past, so they hit us. Then she had a panic attack. So I got out and talked to the other driver. Everybody was okay. It was my understanding, which I did not know. I thought with the no fault insurance, that meant, we gave each other phone numbers and we could leave. So I went home. I needed to get to work and I went to work.
All right. Which way were you going, northbound or southbound?
So we were going southbound, turning southbound, yeah.
Because you can't go northbound out of there. You have to go south and turn around, and
Right, so we were headed south.
131 is now full of Michigan turns.
Mhm.
Where you have to go one way to turn to go the other way, but it's safer, but it's a pain in the neck. I'm waiting for that email to come through. What kind of car were you in?
It's a Dodge Caravan.
How badly was it damaged?
She a headlight on hers. I'm not sure. The other lady, both cars were drivable, so I'm not. Yeah.
And where do you work?
So that was Dollar General.
Okay, hasn't come.
Which Dollar General do you work at?
White Pigeon.
Markville?
No, White Pigeon.
Oh,
Do you have kids in the car?
Yes, we had her kids, yes.
Were they crying?
Yes, oh yeah, yeah.
So you wanted to just get out of there.
No, it wasn't so much that. We had COVID as well. So I didn't know that until later that day. But yeah, very heightened emotions, not thinking clearly. I misunderstood what she wanted to do. I was under the impression that my sister, would contact her insurance, later contact hers. So I was just trying to, I guess, save the day, basically, for my nieces and stuff. Get them out of there.
Hit it with a hammer or something, see if it makes it.
I've got a,
Do you have a written?
sure, I've got a written one. that-
Yeah, would you hand that to the bailiff?
I tried sending you Ben.
Maybe I've got you blocked. That's potential spam. There are lots of accidents here. The complainant Now, she blames you, but the other driver was ready to turn into Myers, was in the turn lane to go into Myers. Someone slammed into her while leaving Culver's. Had you been at Culver's?
No, we had not.
All right. Dodge Caravan. 2 kids in the car, not in car seats. One was a child under the age of 2. That's why he took off. She sat in the Oasis parking lot in her Telluride and called the police. When a vehicle leaving Culver's, she did have contact with the driver of the vehicle. Spoke with the passenger who said her sister was having a panic attack. Both agreed to pull into the Oasis parking lot and exchange information. The other vehicle quickly left the scene without giving any information. And then they located your vehicle. And the vehicle came back to Becca Clemens out of Colon, and she said she sold the vehicle. They ended up tracking you down. Oh, you put a lot of work into this. So Kaylin got a ticket. She didn't have a license. Another reason to leave. All right, thank you, Paul. Yeah, there's more to this. She doesn't have a driver's license. You got 2 kids not in child seats. You didn't actually give her your information. You took off. I'm sure the kids were upset. I'm glad somebody wasn't hurt worse. There's a recommendation of no jail time, and I'll follow it. This carries a $100 fine. $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $50 state minimum fee. Should we show this as no contest, Paul, due to potential accident?
Yes, I would ask for no contest due to civil liability.
All right, there's a $150 attorney fee. I'll show this as no contest. That way, if you get sued for this, the plea that you just gave can't be used against you. But I understand now why you left. The total due is $375. That's a lot. But the fine's only $100. The rest of it is attorney fees and costs. Will you need some time to pay that?
Yeah, if I could make payments, that would be.
All right, we'll do a
great.
payment plan. Now, we have a lot of payment plans where the people make no payment. But I'm sure you'll pay this off. This won't suspend your license or anything. Are you still at the Dollar General?
No,
Okay, are you working somewhere now?
no, not currently.
All right, well then let's try a payment plan. A bailiff will take you out to the court office and you're free to go on about your business. Well, let's bring everybody in.
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good afternoon. You're from your mobile world headquarters.
That
We've
I
got
am.
people logging in. We had a couple of dismissals right off the bat, which did help our docket because I was just working on some other things.
Good. I'm glad. I always like to be helpful.
Thank you. All right, I have Amelia Parker. Let me change your name to that. And Natwaj Zeretz. Can you both hear me?
Yes, I can.
I can hear you. We have Lori from Riverside and attorney Carrie Zanin is here on behalf of Riverside. We had 4 Riverside cases set for today and 2 of them have been resolved. Yes?
You have it filled out, she needs it filled out and signed by you so they can serve him and then. you
She
have
who?
this- Jill. Jill upstairs. So. If you want to sign it, I'll fill out the hearing date and such, and then I'll get it up to her so that she can get it to the jail.
All right. I'm gonna set a hearing for it next Tuesday at 3 o'clock. All right. Each of these cases is a demand for non-payment of rent. So let's talk about that. You're both defendants in a landlord-tenant case where your landlord is asking you to pay the rent or vacate. As such, you have the following legal rights. You have the right to obtain counsel for representation in this matter. If you cannot afford an attorney, a legal aid attorney may be available to help you. And the legal aid attorney is usually here. They have not logged in, so they may be otherwise occupied today. But you do have the information about how to contact legal aid. You have a right to have the matter heard before a judge or a jury. If you demand a jury trial, you have to tell me today or file the jury demand fee within 5 days and pay the fee for having a jury trial, which is $50 unless the judge gives you a waiver of that fee for financial reasons. You have a right to have the case heard here in St. Joseph County where the property is. If your landlord has asked you to be evicted from residential property because you haven't paid rent, you may be able to get assistance from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, a local coordinated entry agency, a housing assessment and resource agency, or federal help from homeless veterans. One or more of those programs or other private programs like the Salvation Army or Hope United or something. We sent you that information with the summons. You do not need a judgment against you from those places to get such assistance. Summons and complaint are sufficient, and you've already received that. If you do reach an agreement with the plaintiff outside of court and an agreement to dismiss the case is reached, the court can assist you with locating or providing a conditional order of dismissal form. And if both parties are agreeable to mediation, the court can help set that up. So far, that hasn't happened, but it might one day. All right, Miss Parker, her rent is alleged to be $95 per month, but the arrearage is $4,254. So things must have changed. So Ms. Zanin, what's the current status?
Judge, I'm showing that actually rent is doing the amount of $4,016.16, and then court costs of $185 for a total of $4,201.16.
Give me those numbers again.
$4,016.16 is rent. Court costs in the amount of $185, so total $4,201.16.
Now, she didn't go 40 weeks without paying, I'm assuming. Rent must have been higher and then recalculated or something.
Yeah, yes, Judge. There are payments made. The last payment I see is April 1st of $200, and then March 4th of $200. Her rent is $95 at this point, but there's also gas charges that she doesn't seem to pay. But it looks like this balance has been carrying over since September of 2023. And do you have a ledger, Judge? I can always submit a ledger to the court.
Well, all right. I don't think I have one here, but let's talk about this. Ms. Parker, a lot of this is past excess that they've been carrying forward. They also allege there's some unpaid utility bills. What's your position here?
Your Honor, back when Lauren and Ellen was working there, they had upped my rent to $800 a month when I was only getting $22 a month through SSI. So that's why I'm so far behind. And I have been giving up $100 extra to cover that, to try to get everything caught up.
Meg Bauer from Legal Aid has joined us, and Ms. Zaritz raises some of the same issues. She provided extensive documentation and letters alleging that her rent wasn't properly calculated and there should have been credit that wasn't. And you may have some of the same issues here. As she did indicate, you paid $200 in April and possibly 200 in March, so it does look like you've been making an overpayment.
I made more than that, Your Honor, because I made a $200 payment and then turned around and made another $200 payment, and I want to say that was
In February. I didn't go that
Yeah.
far. You had, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
yeah.
I showed that as
I'm
well.
trying my hardest to drop it down.
All right, the law
right-
requires that I continue this matter for at least 7 days. And Meg Bauer has just joined us. Both of these may have some of the same issues. Ms. Bauer, are you aware of any of Ms. Zaritz's claim?
Not at this time, but let me
All
double
right, well,
check.
I didn't know if she'd contact, anyway, she filed 50, 100 pages worth of stuff with her answer. All right, now, the law requires that I continue this, and Ms. Kalmbach, the new manager, is new and has inherited some of these issues. The law requires that I continue this matter at least 7 days. And the problem is I'm going to be gone for some of the upcoming dates. These matters could take some time, and I was going to set a landlord-tenant matter on Wednesday, the 24th, and that matter resolved itself. That gives actually quite a bit of time for the parties to go over this. My proposal is to set both of these for Wednesday, April 24th at 2:00.
Good with that, Judge. Do we want to do this in person, Judge? Just,
I don't know. Ms. Bauer is gonna consult with both of these people. And no, we can do it by Zoom. We may need
Okay.
even more than that.
okay,
The Supreme Court is coming to Southwest Michigan and we're gonna meet with them that day.
okay.
But I think the thing ends at, I'm gonna continue to 2:30 Wednesday, April 24th.
Judge, one of those was 2 and one was for 2:30, or
No, I'm gonna set them both for 2:30. There's some sort of luncheon. I don't know how long it'll take me to drive back from where the thing is. Ms. Parker, stay on the lot here with me. I'm gonna let you talk to Ms. Bauer from Legal Aid.
Okay.
All right, you can just stay right here on the feed. All right, Ms. Zaritz,
Yes, Your Honor.
this is file 24290 LT. Ms. Zanin, what's the alleged arrearage here?
$4,041.45. Court costs of $185. A total of $4,226.45.
Give me the costs again.
$185, Your Honor. So a total of $4,226.45.
And do you show rent at 288?
I do show rent at 288, Your Honor. But I have not seen a payment from a defendant since January 22nd, and only in the amount of $81. And then the next one is December 5th in the amount of $81. So yes, there is a balance carried over from 2023, but she's not making her portion either.
Ms. Zaritz, what's your position?
I didn't know that my rent was set to 288 until I got my documents from the court from Riverside. I don't recall signing for 288. My rent was $81 as I understood it last, and I decided that I was gonna hold my rent for these past few months because I saw an increase in the demand for payment amount, and I couldn't attest to where it came from, and no one was able to provide any information as to why my account just keeps growing for, I don't know.
Well, there's also issues of the balance that's been carried forward. You provided a bunch of documentation challenging that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did.
Way back to 2022.
Yes.
Now, there is a way to withhold your rent. You don't just not pay it. You withhold it by doing an escrow, and
I'm
it's
aware.
very different. No one's hardly ever done it right.
Yeah,
And,
I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that.
But you didn't do that.
No. I've been overcharged for like since 2022, and the amount of money that I've given them has depleted my savings, savings for my business. It's affected all of my other bills, and it's made it really hard the past 2 months to get my rent paid, and especially when I don't know what I'm supposed to be paying. We've
Well,
had
one option is to move out. If you felt like they've been overcharging you for 2 years, you don't wait 2 years to complain about it and say, by the
Well-
way, but
definitely.
yes.
Definitely. My other options for residents aren't ideal, and I'm not too eager to pursue those right now. But I've been trying to be in communication with the staff at that office for that 2 years. I was expecting someone to take a look at my file and bring it up to speed, and because I think they owe me money. So if I just walk away, you know.
All right, I'm also going to continue this to 2:30. That'll really give me something to not look forward to when I come back from this judicial meeting, but I've got a block of time and I don't want to squander it. Wednesday, particularly because I'm going to lose 4 landlord tenant days, April 24th, 2024. All right, we're going to continue each of these to the same time, 2:30 on April 24th. We're past February. It's in the rearview mirror. I'm going to allow each of you an opportunity to speak with Meg Bauer from Legal Aid. You may need to actually just call her and make an appointment. Because each of you are raising legal issues. I don't know whether Legal Aid will be willing to file an appearance, or whether you're eligible for their assistance, or whether she can give you some guidance. In particular, Ms. Zaretz, you got lots of things that you have filed. Ms. Zanin, have you had a chance to look at those?
I briefly looked through them, Judge, last night. I did not get through all of them, but I will make sure that I'm abreast of
Ms.
all of them.
Kalmbach, have you had a chance to look at those?
Some of them, yes, not all of them.
Well, and I don't know whether there's legitimate issues or not. It's going to require some close looking. All right. And I'm going to need Ms. Bauer on the next case. So you can either stick with me for a minute. Let me do the next matter. Ms. Zanin and Ms. Kalmbach, you're good to go. I'll ask the defendants if they wish to wait to talk to Ms. Bauer, or they wish to just give her a call.
I have
Ms.
a question.
Parker, what would you? Okay, so go ahead.
I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with this case. I have another case, I thought. Village Manor versus Ashley Tice. Is that later?
No, it's next.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're in the waiting room. So Lori, you're good to go, but Carrie is stuck with me for a little bit longer. So Ms. Parker, do you wish to wait, or do you wish to give her a call?
I'll call her, Your Honor.
All right, write this number down.
Okay.
I'm gonna-
269.
Judge, I'm gonna
All
get her right to the intake line based on the complexity.
right,
269
Mhm.
366 3385. That goes directly to one of my legal assistants.
All right, thank you, hon.
I will tell him about what's happened.
All right, thank
all
you.
right. Ms. Zaretz, do you wish to wait or give her a call?
I would like to wait if it's convenient for her.
Yes. I'm also going to forward your documents to legal aid.
That's very
Thank
helpful.
you.
The file number here is 24151OD.
El número de caso aquí es 24151 OD.
You got a ticket in Three Rivers
Usted recibió una multa en Tres Ríos
on January 28th
el 28 de enero
for driving while intoxicated.
por conducir en estado de ebriedad.
In Michigan, that's a misdemeanor.
En Michigan es un delito menor.
It is punishable by up to 93 days in jail
Conlleva una máxima penalidad posible hasta 93 días de cárcel.
a fine of up to $500,
Una multa hasta $500.
6 points on your driving record,
6 puntos en su registro de manejo.
and it requires that your license be suspended.
Y requiere que se le suspenda la licencia.
The prosecuting attorney for the city of Three Rivers
El fiscal para la ciudad de Tres Ríos
has agreed to reduce this charge to another charge known as impaired driving.
está de acuerdo con reducir la gravedad del cargo a un cargo que se llama
Could you
conducir
please
con las
silence that or take it out and hit it with a hammer or something?
a reducir la gravedad del cargo al cargo de conducir con las facultades disminuidas.
Impaired driving is a lesser included charge
Conducir con las facultades disminuidas es un cargo de gravedad reducida.
It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail
Conlleva una máxima penalidad posible hasta 93 días de cárcel
and a fine of up to $300.
y una multa hasta $300.
Carries 4 points on your license rather than 6.
Conlleva 4 puntos en su licencia en lugar de 6.
It would allow you to keep a restricted driver's license
Le permitiría mantener una licencia con restricciones.
Do you understand the charge?
¿Entiende usted el cargo en su contra?
The charge is known as impaired driving.
Se le conoce al cargo como conducir con las facultades disminuidas.
Now, I didn't get an advice of rights,
No recibí la notificación de derechos firmado.
so I'm going to take a minute and go through those with you, and it applies to everybody else, Mr. Orsi, and anybody else who's here to do a plea. Do
Voy
you
a
understand? I'm sorry. go ahead.
tomar un momento para revisar sus derechos con usted, porque se aplica a todo lo que se encuentran aquí.
Do you understand that by pleading to this charge, you're giving up your right to have a trial that will not be a trial?
Usted entiende, al contestar culpable a este cargo de gravedad reducida, usted renuncia a su derecho a llevar el caso a juicio. No habrá ningún tipo de juicio.
That trial could be in front of the judge or a jury.
En el caso de juicio, pudiera ser por juez o por jurado.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to have a lawyer.
Si hubiera un juicio, tendría el derecho a ser representado por un abogado.
We have appointed a lawyer for you.
Le hemos asignado un abogado de oficio para ayudarle.
You could also hire a lawyer of your own choosing if you wish.
Usted pudiera también contratar un abogado particular si quisiera.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to take the witness stand and testify in your own behalf.
En un juicio, usted tendría el derecho de tomar el estrado y dar testimonio por su parte.
But you don't have to because you have a right not to testify.
Pero no tiene que hacerlo porque también tiene el derecho de no testificar.
And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury cannot hold your silence against you.
En un juicio, si uno decide no testificar, el juez o el jurado no puede utilizar su silencio en su contra.
You'd also have the right to have any witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court.
También en un juicio tendría el derecho a que los testigos en su contra o a su favor comparecer en un juicio y si no quieren hacerlo, el juez puede ordenar su comparecencia
So they could be questioned under oath.
para que pudiéramos hacer preguntas a ellos bajo juramento.
And you have the right to be presumed innocent
También tiene el derecho a la presunción de inocencia,
unless they could prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
a menos que puedan comprobar que usted es culpable más allá de toda duda razonable.
Do you understand?
¿Entiende usted eso?
Did anyone threaten you to get you to plead to this charge?
¿Alguien le amenazó para que contestara culpable a este cargo?
No,
Or promise you anything?
¿O le prometieron algo?
no.
No.
This happened at about midnight in the city of Three Rivers.
Eso
On
sucedió a
January
la
28th.
medianoche en Tres Ríos.
Sí,
Where
Yes.
were you going?
¿A dónde iba?
la casa de un amigo.
The interpreter couldn't hear because he's facing me, but he's not speaking into the microphone. Señor, ¿usted puede voltearse y responder al micrófono? Porque si no, no le escucho.
Ok, a la casa de un amigo.
I was heading to my friend's house.
Where were you coming from?
¿De dónde venía?
De la tienda.
From the store.
Remember what store?
¿Se acuerda el nombre de la tienda?
No,
What were you drinking?
¿Qué tomaba?
cerveza.
Beer.
What kind?
¿Qué tipo?
Corona.
Corona.
How many you think you had?
¿Cuántos coronas piensa que había consumido?
Pues la realidad, o sea, tuve como unas de 7 a 8, no.
Maybe 7 or 8.
Your blood alcohol was 0.17. Will you accept that, Ms. Ives?
Yes, Your Honor.
La concentración de alcohol en la sangre salió a 0.17. Licenciada, ¿acepte ese valor? Que sí.
Now, your attorney tells me that you are returning to Mexico in May.
Su abogado me dice que usted va a viajar nuevamente a México en mayo.
Ajá. Es en el 2022.
Yes, Your Honor, I am looking at his visa and his expiration of visa is May 22nd, 2024.
Sí, su señoría, estoy mirando su visa y se vence la visa en mayo de 2024.
Ms. Ives, are you available on Monday, May 6th at 11?
No, that week I'm actually taking a week off and will be in Florida from the 1st through the 10th. I'm available on the 29th, if that's helpful. Or
How about Monday, May 13th?
yes, I can be available on Monday, May 13th.
And then maybe we'll set some other cases for you on that day.
11 a.m. on that day, Your Honor?
Yes.
Está fijando fecha para regresar el 13 de mayo. Es un día lunes.
In drinking driving cases, the law requires that I set the matter for a second date for the sentencing.
En casos de conducir en estado de ebriedad o con las facultades disminuidas, la ley requiere que postergo la fecha de la imposición de la condena
To get more information about what happened.
para recibir mayor información sobre qué es lo que pasó.
I'll get the police report,
el informe de policía,
find out more about you,
a saber más sobre usted
and we will deal with this at that time.
y vamos a tratar ese caso en ese momento.
Vivian, are you available on that day?
I was just looking, yes, I am. But what time?
11.
11, yes, I am.
Are you employed somewhere, sir?
¿Usted trabaja en alguna parte, señor?
Sí, en la empresa Walter Farms.
The interpreter couldn't hear the name of the
Walter
business.
Farms. It's a
Walter
potato
Farms, okay.
Okay. Papa.
farm. Okay, sir. I'm gonna give you this. I
Le
want
voy a
you to go out
entregar
to the
esta hoja,
counter.
señor.
They will give you more information about coming back on that day.
Le va a dar mayor información sobre regresar en esa fecha.
This is when we come back to court.
Es la
Monday,
fecha en cuando
May 13th.
regresamos al tribunal.
Take this up to the front desk.
Sí, sí.
Lo lleva a la ventanilla.
Ahorita no tengo que pagar nada.
I'm sorry.
Ahorita no tengo que pagar nada.
I don't have to pay anything right now.
No, that will be on the day of the sentence.
Me llegó
Hoy no. En el día de la
me llegó
imposición de la condena, sí.
me llegó un papel de $40, algo así, no sé de qué.
They gave me a paper saying I owed $40. I don't know what that's
Yes.
for.
It's a booking fee, and he does owe the $40 booking fee. He can pay that at the counter.
Sí, son los $40 por tomar toda su información cuando le pararon. Usted lo puede pagar en la ventanilla
Okay.
de
Very
ficheo.
good. There was a lot going on in that affidavit. The house got trashed and maybe a disturbing the peace and just call it good. But that's a pretty bad circumstance. Good morning, sir. Are you Aaron Burdick?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your patience. You've been here all morning. Everybody else as well, but you've seen I only do one case at a time.
Right.
You got charged with one of our most common offenses, which is driving suspended. Driving suspended is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Carries 2 points on your driving record and requires that your license be suspended. Let's take a look at your driving record. You were suspended at that time. That had expired in 22 and some other stuff. Did you get your license back?
Yes, I did.
Yay.
I just got it reinstated.
Yep. And Your Honor, I'm holding a copy of his Michigan temporary license in my hands, so.
Well, that's ultimately the goal. If this driving suspended or even a no operator's license hit your driving record, it would undo what you just did. So Ms. Halleck has agreed, because you got your license back, to amend this to a charge called allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code. It's kind of a screwy statute because the other that you're allowing to violate the motor vehicle code is yourself. But the reason for using it, it carries no points, doesn't get abstracted to your driver's license, won't affect your ability to keep or maintain your driver's license. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, this was a city case. I believe it was.
Oh, so it wasn't,
Right. Yes.
it wasn't mean Melissa, it would have been Mr. George.
Although I gracefully would have done the same.
Well, the goal is to have people get their license back.
Right.
And so every prosecutor would have done this. Melissa used to be on the other side of the fence and asked for that for her clients. So that's the good news. The bad news is you're going to owe me some money. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Other than what's been said here, did anybody promise you anything to get you to plead to this
No, sir.
or threaten you?
No, sir.
Where were you going that day?
I was dropping someone off from work that I worked with.
And where were you coming from?
Work American Axle.
All right.
I worked second shift.
All right. Well, the good news is you got your license and I'm pleased about that. The fine is $75. I'll reduce it from 100.
Okay.
$75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, and $150 attorney fee. $350. That's what a lot of things come out to today. That's expensive. The only fine is $75. The rest of it is cost. How long will it take you to pay $350?
I don't really know yet because I'm paying on 3 other counties too.
All right, well, let's go out to June 30th. Is that long enough?
That should be, can I start a payment plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you had to get your ground cleared on 3 other counties. You got the temporary permit.
Yep,
Don't screw it up. So good for you. I'm happy that you got it.
thank you.
We'll do $50 per month. The rest of your life. About 7 months. All right, you're good to go, sir. I'm glad. Now, that's just a temporary permit. You got some more work to do.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow through all the way on it.
I'm
Just a
waiting-
minute.
Waiting for
please.
it in the mail.
Let me make sure that, I don't think you owe me any more. You're good to go. You know, I let that Miss Coomer go. She has